everyone, Stephanie here, coffee drinker, book lover, and reviewer of many things. And today I am reviewing, I should have been better prepared. Honest June! So, this book, I think, okay, back it up. Honest June is on the preteen teen reading challenge. And it is a middle grade book. There are 271 pages, and a lot of those are not a lot of them. Okay, so it's a middle grade book. So there's a quarter of the pages have pictures, or I'll show you that in a minute. I think everyone needs to read this book. I'm gonna say it again. I think everyone needs to read this book. Okay. I'm gonna read the summary on the back of the book, and then I'm gonna read you what I wrote in my little journal thingy, and then we're gonna talk about some spoilers. It says, Honest June can't tell a lie, but is it a blessing or a curse? Middle school is hard, but it's way harder when a fairy godmother puts you underneath a truth telling spell. June has always been a people pleaser, telling harmless little lies to make friends and family happy. She's convinced being honest about her feelings will only hurt the people she loves. Until out of nowhere, a secret fairy godmother appears to bless her with the ability to only tell truth. Seriously? It says it like that. Now she has no choice but to be honest, and the truth is this: June feels stressed out. Middle school is no joke. Between field hockey, friend drama, and parents' high expectations, she feels so overwhelmed that sometimes it's hard to breathe. When everything spirals out of control, will June find freedom in telling the whole truth and nothing but? Or is she destined to battle the curse for the rest of her life? Honestly, you won't want to miss the next book in this series. Okay. This book is really cute. It has pictures and it has text messages. Oh, I don't it's not gonna unblur. Okay, so we have text messages, and it's like middle school right bit. And then like sometimes you have a half page of picture, and then sometimes you have a whole page of picture. They're really good pictures too. I enjoyed the pictures, to be honest. And sometimes, here it is. Okay, so after she gets cursed, she has to find a way to deal with not telling the whole truth sometimes, or if somebody asks her a question and she's gonna lie real fast and she's gonna run, and she's created a secret blog that no one else can read unless they have the passcode. And so we have like entries like this into her little blog thing. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to show you the inside of the book before I started. Also, I like this book because I felt like the words were spaced nicely. Like sometimes I have trouble reading it whenever they're too close together. Um, Now on to what I had to say. Let me find it. Okay. Honest June, the book one, let me just start from the top. This book is by Tina Wells. Uh, she's got a lot of really neat things, and if you don't know who she is, go look her up and listen to some podcasts that she's on or something. This is a middle grade fiction book. The publisher for this book is Random House. It is 271 pages or 5 hours and 5 minutes long. I didn't listen to it, but I did look it up in case I decided I wanted. I started this book on January 10th, and I didn't write down when I finished it. I'll have to go look on Storygraph and see when I finished it. Why did I choose this book? It was on my 2025 preteen teen reading challenge, and my niece asked for them for Christmas in 2023, and I got them for her, and she read them and she liked them, and I wanted to know what they were about. I gave this a 4.5 book rating, 4.5 book rating. Would I recommend this? Absolutely. I already said everyone needs to read this book. Other books by this author. There are a few kid and a few adult. So I'm going to start with the kid books and then I'll tell you the adult books. So first in the kid series, we have the Mackenzie Blue series, Honest June series, the Z-Files, the Stitch Click, and now I'm going to tell you the adult ones. The Elevation Approach she was a contribute to. Chasing Youth Culture and Getting It Right, and the Retail Business Blueprint. Okay, in case you want to go look this up. I listened to a podcast she was on. She talks about how she was one of like 6 kids, and the person was like, "Oh, so did you have parents like June?" And she's like, "Well, not really." And yeah, okay. So I have my review for this book. I went past the lines. On the review page it says, "I do not read a book. I hold a conversation with the author." Elbert Hubbard. That's fine. All right, review. This book was great. It was about pressure that is not just that not just an 11-year-old goes through, but I think everyone at any age might go through. It's about telling the truth and learning how to do it nicely and being yourself even when you're afraid. June is 11 and starts 6th grade. Her whole life, she has only made everyone else happy, even lying to her best friend about her favorite color, because she was afraid that if they had the same favorite color, then her best friend would be mad at her. And she probably would have, to be honest. I've had a friend like her best friend Naya, and girl, you just need to move on. Naya is a bit of a bully, and when June calls her out after she has the problem with not being able to keep her truth in, when June calls her out on things, it gets rough. Naya stops talking to her and starts treating her very like, oh, and like June will be like, oh, hey, blah, 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 blah. Did you see this? And, no, no. Kind of rude. I like that June's dad finally explains why he was so hard on her. And you get to see his backstory and all the struggle. He tells her about the struggle that he went through. They're African American, and when he's a lawyer and mom is a doctor, and talk about pressure. He talks about how he had a counselor in high school that told him, if you want to be a lawyer, you're gonna have to work double hard and make all good grades to get into the college that you want. And then he did that, and he kept making, like, working hard and getting the good grades, and because he wanted to be a lawyer. And when he graduated from college, he was accepted into the best law firm in New York, and he was overlooked. Even though he was the best in his class and all of that stuff, he was overlooked because of his skin color. And so he explains that to her and, like, talks about how he didn't want that to ever happen to her, and that this he left that firm and created his own firm with his best friend, and they had been training their daughters to take over. And she's like, but I'm 11. What if I don't want to be a lawyer? What if I don't want to be a doctor? Like, mom jumps on the um I'm so sorry that we've been making you feel this way train very fast. Dad takes at least a week. Um, so I'm happy that her parents did start understanding, because there are some kids that if they would have started abruptly telling the truth, um, there are some parents that probably wouldn't have been okay, if that makes sense. Um, and then I forgot where I was. And then I put sixth grade is not that important. I want to tell you why. I want to read. I want to read this. This thing real fast. Where is it? Okay, I found it. Hold on. So June is getting ready for her first day of school, or her last day of summer before sixth grade. And one of the thoughts that goes through her head, we were we were no longer grade schoolers. This was middle school, prime time, the big leads at FCMS. That's the middle school initials for those of you who don't understand. We need to bring our A game. We need to make a great, scratch that, legendary impression from day one to live up to our legacy of our parents and grandparents have created for us. Or else our parents would be disappointed. Our neighbors wouldn't like us, our teachers wouldn't like us, then colleges wouldn't like us, and we wouldn't get degrees, and then we wouldn't be able to get jobs, and we'd have no money or friends or husbands, and living we'd be living on our parents' couches forever, surviving on chicken wings and flaming hot Cheetos, and then we'd become the embarrassment to our family at if our family still claimed us. Okay, maybe not all of those things would happen if we didn't rock middle school. I tend to overthink things. It's just part of my charm, I guess. I don't really like Cheetos anyway. But, like, that is before she even started sixth grade. This book was really good. Okay. And there are times that, I mean, like, we all do it, I think, where someone's like, "Oh, what do you think of the dinner I made?" And we're like, "It was really good," but really we're thinking it was dry or it was under seasoned. But we don't say that because that would hurt their feelings, right? So think of it like that, but with June's whole entire life. Like it can be as simple as um oh, one of the there's a girl, she came into class and she's like, "What do you think of the shirt that I made?" And in her head, she's like, "I wouldn't wear it, but that's not her style." Like she's like, "But that's not my style." So instead of saying, she didn't like it, she said, "It looks really good on you," which it's not a lie because I guess it did look good on her. Everyone was complimenting it. But because June, once June is under the curse, because she didn't say her whole truth, which probably wouldn't have hurt the kid's feelings, to be honest. But yeah, because she didn't say the whole truth. When she doesn't say the whole truth, she starts having the feeling like she's gonna sneeze. And whenever you're trying to hold back your sneeze, your face gets all weird. And so now she's afraid of being the weird kid. And her best friend Naya, she has a she has Naya and Olive. They only Naya knows about the truth thing and about the fairy godmother, and she actually believes her because she says something. She asks her, June a question, and June spurts out the truth, and she's like, "Dang, you're insulting my mama's cooking." It is. It is dry. It is. It is flavorful. Um, or whatever it is. So it's like she believes her, but then later on, anytime June says something, she doesn't believe that she's telling her the truth. And it's like, you know, you know, can't lie. So why issue? And then there's one other person that knows about the fairy godmother, and that is a friend that doesn't live with them, doesn't live near. I don't remember her name, but she like texts her or emails her all the time. And what was her name? Anyway, it's not important. And then when a new girl is on the field hockey team, her name is Blake. So when Blake joins, she's a new student and she joins the field hockey team. She's really good at like everything. And her dad also works at June's dad's law firm, and Naya's dad also works there. And Naya's like, "No, we don't have room for any more friends," and is very rude about it. And like you can tell she's jealous. And June calls her out on it. She's like, "Are you jealous?" And it kind of escalates. Like it could have been handled better, but they're 11, so And Olive is just like, I mean, we could invite her to a study group and see how she is, and then see if we want her as a friend. Like, um, which is a great idea, by the way. And so their friendship is on the rocks, and then June blows up finally. June blows up in the middle of the crab shack. And I was like, "Oh, this is hilarious." Not hilarious, like haha, but like it always like every time they end up talking about it, like, "Oh well, we're not gonna be able to go back to the crab shack. You definitely, yeah, we're gonna have to wait a while before we go back there." Like they keep bringing it up. I'm like, it's not real. I mean, I guess it's a small town, but it's not that big of a deal, is it? And like later, whenever her dad and her are making up, um, he's like, maybe we can do like little dates, just me and you, and we can go out and find a new family dinner night, eat out place. And she's like, can we really not ever go back? I love the biscuits that they have. And he's like, I think we're gonna have to wait a while. It'll be an adventure. I just thought that was funny. And I think Victoria, that her fairy godmother, has the right idea, but sometimes I feel like you do need to like not tell the whole truth. Like she likes her best guy friend, uh, the pair or um her best guy friend Lee. He's been coming over to her house for Sunday dinner all the time, like forever. And she has a bit of a crush on him. And she's just realizing that it's a crush, but Naya's been like picking at her, being like, "Oh, your boyfriend's here," like since they were younger. And so June is always like, "We're just friends." And then he comes over for dinner after her truth stuff starts happening. And she's sitting there and she starts having these feelings like, "Oh my gosh, maybe I do like him." And she starts like panicking because she's gonna say something. So she's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. And it's like, you didn't have to announce this. It's your house. Just go. Um, but then he asks about Naya, and she's like, what if he likes Naya? What, like she starts like second guessing, so she doesn't say anything. So, I feel like she shouldn't have to always tell, like, yes, you should tell the truth, but I feel like you shouldn't always tell your truth. Like, would it be beneficial to be like, hey, I have a crush on you? If you're sure that they have a crush on you back, yes. But he just asked about your best friend, which he's never done before, so, like, why you ask it? Or, like, oh, we're not really talking right now. Or something like that. It's a middle school book, okay? So there is those like little awkward moments, and I thought it was a really good book. I think everyone should read this book. Yeah. It ends with, I'm just gonna tell you the end, okay? So it ends with June. June is talking to Victoria, and Victoria's like, you gotta work on telling your whole truth. You've been doing good at telling the truth, but you need to work on telling your whole truth. And once you figure out how to do that without, honest June, because their school laptops, you can do like secret blogs that you have to have a password for. There is a point in the book where Lee says that you're using a school laptop. Just remember that the school can see what you're doing. I think that might come in play later. It doesn't come in play in this, but there is a part where Naya says, uh, where is it? Oh, they, they've started, they started kind of talking again, but not like friend talking. Like they're just like catch up, like, yeah, hey, you remember the times? Um, she, Naya texts her, hey girl, and June texts back, hey, and Naya puts, it's been a minute. You good? And June says, yeah, Sunday dinner wasn't the same without you, but Lee came over. And she's like, Lee, huh? You sure you don't like him? Oh, I'm sure you liked that. That's what she said. And she's like, there's pause, nothing. And Naya puts, you know what I mean, dinner with your boy Lee. Did you hold hands? Kiss on the trampoline? And June's like, girl, no, we're just friends. And Naya says, "That's all right. I know where you hide your true feelings." So it's like there's a moment where June is like, "Oh, what? Does she know about my blog? Did, can she read it? Does she see what I wrote about Lee? Did she see what I wrote about her? Eek. Um, Also, instead of cuss words, because she's 11, they say things like, dog garnet and stuff like that. Like, kind of, oh, shoot, shucks, which I thought was cute. Anyway, so she has a nice little conversation with Victoria later, and don't slip back into your old ways of holding on to all of that and blah blah blah. The truth is simple, the truth is easy, the truth will set you free. And a few moments go by, and June follows the dust, some sparkly dust, to her bathroom. It's Victoria. And she looks in the mirror and she says, "The truth is simple. The truth is easy. The truth is me." And she says it a few times and she waits a moment. And then when she opens her eyes, she sees herself in the mirror. Like, really sees herself. Not just, oh, I gotta look good. I gotta be perfect. And that's a nice little moment. And then before she walks away, she hears, "The truth will set you free." And that's how the book ended. And I was like, such a cute book. Like, that could be it. You could read the first one and be done. But I'm gonna see if I can borrow the second book and maybe get the whole set of books for myself so that I have them for my kiddo. But I want her to know that she can talk to me, and I'm not gonna put that kind of pressure on my kid. I do let her already make some decisions that I'm like, I wouldn't, okay, let's do it. Like right now, she's playing with Play-Doh. I don't like Play-Doh. That's really all I have to talk about. I thought the book was really good. It's got enough to keep you coming back to it. The beginning, of course, is a little slow because you're just following her around her first week of school. And then it picks up. And once she gets the fairy godmother, like, sprinkles the dust on her and she can't lie anymore, it gets interesting because she has to figure out how to tell the truth nicely, which is hard to do for an 11-year-old, I guess. That is it. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. Have you read Honest June by Tina Wells? It's a good book, as I've said. I gave it a 4.5 books. So, and else I need to say? I don't know. Leave a comment if you've read this. What was your favorite part? And are you gonna read it? If you're gonna read it, I will leave the link for this book in the description, along with the links for all of my reading challenges. I've got a Paper Pie reading challenge. These books are from my Paper Pie website. So I will leave a link to get the books also. I have the reading challenge, the 2025 reading challenge. This one is for adults. They have adult content in them or adult themes in them. That doesn't mean that it's all. Anyway, and then I have the 2025 Preteen Teen Challenge, and that's what this book was on. I'll leave the Google Docs link to get all of these in the description, along with a way to get them. The books for the preteen teen rating challenge and the adult challenge are going to be on the same Amazon shopping list. And yeah, that's all I have to talk about. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. If you're not sure if you're going to subscribe, click my face circle down here somewhere and check out my channel. I do a lot of book reviews, I do product reviews, and I play some games and share this video because sharing is caring. And I'll see you on my next video.